Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to your Saturday evening edition of WRMK News 12. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, man sentenced to life without parole for 2022 Gorham double murder. A West Stewartstown man will spend the rest of his life in prison after he was convicted of a 2022 double murder in Gorham. A judge sentenced Craig Calville to 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole after he was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder for the murders of Holly Banks, 28, and Keith LaBelle, 42, in April of 2022. Woman killed in dairy home explosion identified. A woman who was killed in a dairy house explosion during Thursday's nor'easter has been identified. The New Hampshire State Fire Marshal's office said Laura Pervella, 76, was killed in the explosion and fire on Goodhue Road. The cause of Pervella's death was due to complications of multiple blast injuries, authorities said, and the cause of her death was accidental. Fire officials say the conditions during the storm made it more difficult to extinguish the fire. The explosion was caused by a tree falling on propane tanks outside the home, causing the propane leak and then explosion, according to primarily information from the fire marshal's office. A child who was also injured in the explosion is still being treated at a Boston area hospital, the fire marshal's office said. New Hampshire skydiver will experience solar eclipse in the air. One Granite Stater will be watching Monday's solar eclipse from the sky. Dylan, who is also known as Hillis Billis, has been skydiving for 10 years. He and a crew from Vermont Skydiving Adventures will take flight before Total on Monday. He said safety is a top priority and added he wanted to be part of the unforgettable experience. He said, I think Dan kind of just saw the opportunity for people to see something they've never seen, and there are a lot of people offering it. And his drop zone being in the location where we're going to see totally. I think he just saw the opportunity there for people to see something beautiful and took it, Billy's said. It will take about 5 minutes to get back to the ground, so they should see all of the totally from the air. Fire at Senator Bernie Sanders' office in Burlington, Vermont being investigated as arson, police say. Federal investigators are trying to figure out who started a fire outside Senator Bernie Sanders' office in Vermont. Officers said a man sprayed something flammable on the front door, set it on fire, and ran away. A picture of the suspect was released. The fire spread all over the door and was getting bigger when the sprinklers went off and put it out. Sanders was not there at the time, but some staffers were inside the building when it happened. Now let's go to some national news. Biden announces more federal aid to visit to Baltimore Bridge collapse. Let's take a listen to that report from CBS News.
President Biden traveled to Baltimore this afternoon to survey the devastation from the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The president vowed his support for the community impacted by the disaster, and he announced more federal funding to help the people and the city recover. CBS's Chris Van Cleve is there tonight.
The cleanup at the bridge collapse site is now an around-the-clock effort. 51 divers are working underwater as 12 cranes are being assembled topside. The Army Corps of Engineers pledging to open a shipping lane up to 35 feet deep by the end of the month and clear the entire 750-foot wide and 50-foot deep main channel as soon as the end of May.
Your nation has your back, and I mean it.
President Biden got his first up-close look at the wreckage during an aerial tour of the scene Friday.
The damage is devastating, and our hearts are still breaking.
The president also met with the families of the 6 construction workers who died. They were filling potholes on the bridge when it was hit by the cargo ship Dolly and collapsed last week. 4 of the bodies remain unaccounted for, believed to be trapped among the rubble some 50 feet underwater.
I've come here to grieve with you. It's feeling like having a black hole in your chest, like you're being sucked in, unable to breathe.
The collapse has largely shut down the busy port of Baltimore and trapped 11 large ships, including container vessels, and 4 that typically are kept ready to deploy immediately if called upon to assist military operations. The president says some 20,000 jobs depend on the port. His administration has now sent formal notice to Congress. They'll be seeking federal funds to cover the cost of rebuilding the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Marylanders of this generation and the next will look up, and once again, they will see the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Maryland's governor announced a coalition of 50 area businesses that have pledged to not reduce their workforce while the port has been closed. Also, the Baltimore Orioles and the Baltimore Ravens are pledging $10 million for recovery relief aid. Nora?
There's some good news. Chris Van Cleve, thank you so much.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into your weather. Gradually clearing this weekend. Let's get that full weather forecast from meteorologist Jacqueline Thomas.
Thanks for watching. I'm meteorologist Jacqueline Thomas. Heading through the start of our weekend, we've still been unsettled, a little on the cool side too, with plenty of clouds lingering overhead and also those spotty showers lingering as well. Rain showers or even mixed to snow showers in northern parts of the state. Low temperatures in the 30s, highs only in the 40s, so below average there. Satellite and radar through the evening, you can still make out low pressure spinning off to our east, and you can still see the showers that we're getting associated with that system and the clouds that we've been dealing with overhead. We had a couple breaks in the clouds for a little bit of sun and brightening at times today, but as we head through Sunday, we'll see even more of that gradual clearing. So in the futurecast tonight, any of these showers wind down overnight. It'll be mainly cloudy, but mainly dry. Then on Sunday, we get back into a little more sunshine. Still can't rule out a pop-up shower or sprinkle in the afternoon, but after that, we really clear out as we head through Sunday night and into the day on Monday, which is great news for viewing the solar eclipse. All eyes have been on Monday the 8th and the forecast for a while because of the eclipse that's happening. Tonight, clouds stick around, lows in the 20s and right around freezing south, lower 30s. Tomorrow, still on the cooler side of average, some 40s to near 50 in spots in the state. Still a good amount of clouds at times, but more sunshine breaking out of those clouds at times as well. Can't rule out just a spot shower. And then Monday, a mainly clear sky. Now there could be a couple of fair weather clouds, some high, thin clouds that start to stream in, especially late in the day, but that'll mainly be after the eclipse, after totality for spots up north. So you should have really good conditions overall and warmer temperatures Monday too. Many spots in the state on Monday will be soaring into the 50s. Southern parts of the state could actually reach the 60s. Precipitation chances after Monday stay low on Tuesday, but increase as we head through the second half of the week. We turn unsettled again. A chance for rain showers returns later Wednesday, with a chance for rain likely on Thursday. So in the 7-day forecast, clouds still drying out on Sunday, and then a mainly clear sky Monday for the eclipse. Temperatures climbing into the 60s south in the states and 50s up north. Still hanging on to some sun on Tuesday before more clouds and a chance for showers return later next week.
Okay, that's a look at your weather. And now let's take a look at your sports. Good, happy Saturday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to your Saturday evening edition of WRMK News 12 Sports Report. Let's get started with your sports report right now. First up, the Boston Bruins. They had a game, and the game just ended not too long ago. The game went into overtime. They played on home ice in Boston. That game went into overtime, and the final score of the Boston Bruins game was Boston Bruins 3 and Florida Panthers 2. The Boston Bruins won the game. Congratulations, Boston Bruins. Excellent job on winning. It was a tense game, and period 3 was also intense as well. Excellent job, Boston Bruins, on winning the game. And NHL playoffs are coming right around the corner. The start date for that will be Saturday, April 20th. So, right around the corner, those NHL playoffs will be coming, and Bruins will be in it in things. Boston Red Sox, they play tonight at 9:38 p.m. against LA Angels. Let's go Boston Red Sox. Hopefully they can win tonight's game. Game time is at 9:38 p.m. and win probability, they're saying 51.5% for the Angels and 48.5% for the Red Sox. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully the Red Sox can win tonight's game. Game time, 9:38 p.m. against Angels. And the Celtics, they had a game yesterday, and the final score of that game was Celtics 101 and Kings 100. Celtics won the game yesterday. Excellent job, Celtics. And next game for Celtics will be tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. against the Trailblazers. Let's go Celtics. Hopefully they can win tomorrow night's game. And that is your WRMK News 12 Sports Report right here on WRMK News 12. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening and good night. Okay, that's a look at your sports report, and that does it for this evening edition of WRMK News 12 Evening Newscast. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening, and good night, everyone, and bye.